Yo, what's going on, everybody? We got some breaking news for all of you guys as J.J. McCarthy is officially in concussion protocol, and it's looking like he won't suit up for the Week 13 matchup in Seattle against the Seahawks. And this Viking season, this keeps on getting worse somehow. But it is looking like Max Brosmer will be the starting quarterback this week against the Seahawks. So we'll talk about that, talk about this whole J.J. McCarthy saga and why I think it's fully on the table that he never plays a game again for the Minnesota Vikings. Like, that is a harsh reality that a lot of us are going to have to face, and especially me being a guy that's been a McCarthy guy from the jump, but it has just gone completely worst-case scenario. Like, I actually don't think you could have drawn up a worse season for the Vikings heading in this one than the season we just got, and it is it's continually just getting worse. So, hey, it's going to be a hectic time being a Vikings fan. I'll keep you guys posted with everything you need to know around your favorite football team. So hit that subscribe button. Hey, misery likes company. So if you guys want to join this family here, hit that subscribe button today. Sometimes you just got to shake your head and laugh about it because I truly can't believe what has gone down this season being a Vikings fan and is truly one of a kind. So if you guys could hit that subscribe button today. If you guys have not already, join our Vikings Now family here on YouTube. So let's talk about this. And I think first off, I just want to say, like, my heart goes out to JJ. This is just a terrible situation. I mean, him tearing his meniscus his rookie year, dealing with that high ankle sprain, playing some terrible football, and now he's dealing with a concussion. Like, the kid just can't catch a break, and he is still 22 years old. He just became a dad, and he has so much on his plate, and just keeps on getting worse from him because he has been flat out terrible. Like, he has legitimately looked like the worst player on an NFL roster this year, and it's just sad because I'm sure how – he walks around that locker room compared to how he walked around that locker room a couple of months ago, even, a couple of weeks ago after that Lions game. It's probably night and day. Like, he probably feels like he's letting his teammates down because he is. How does he look at a guy like Justin Jefferson, who is an all-time great talent, and JJ being the biggest reason why Jefferson's not getting his? Because this isn't like basketball, where if you have like a bonehead point guard who is playing some terrible hoops and you're a two guard, you can still get your shots up, you can still get yours, but Jefferson's probably looking around like, man, you're screwing up my numbers. You're screwing up this team's ability to win games. So I just don't know how JJ can have any confidence right now. He said he still has all the confidence in the world in himself, in his ability. I just think he is kind of, and for right reason, he's probably just lying to the media, but I don't know how he can possibly have any confidence. He is the biggest reason why this Vikings team is struggling and where they are right now, and I just feel terrible for him. And I could honestly see this being a situation where we don't see JJ again this year. Because are you going to rush him back from a concussion? Are you going to throw him back out there with the way he was playing so far? I don't know. Like, the Vikings quarterback situation from where we were this exact time last year, where we had Sam Darnold playing at MVP level, we had Daniel Jones on our practice squad, and we had J.J. McCarthy, the huge unknown, to where we are right now, where it's Max Brosmer and John Wolford. Those are going to be your quarterbacks heading into Seattle to play a Mike McDonald defense who is one of the best in the league in one of the toughest environments. I just feel bad for this fan base. I feel bad for this franchise. I feel bad for those guys in the locker room. I feel bad for the coaching staff. This season has truly just been a complete season from hell. And on the Max Brosmer front, I'll make one super, super drunk purple Kool-Aid take right here. What if this is Trey Lance and Brock Purdy? What if J.J. McCarthy truly is that bad? And we get Max Brosmer in there, and he plays some good football, and maybe he looks like Brock Purdy. Because remember the Niners, they took Trey Lance, number 3 overall. They took Purdy with the last pick in the draft. Trey Lance looked like a complete bust, dealt with some injuries. Then Purdy got in there. He played some good football, led them to 2 Super Bowls, or 1 Super Bowl. Maybe that's the situation with Brosmer. But again, there is no positives out of this because also this – will continue to give the Vikings less and less answers. Because even though I think JJ, there's a chance he can turn this around, it probably won't be this season. He'll probably have to get back in the lag, completely change his mechanics, and try to just salvage a terrible situation. But it's just bad. Like, it is so bad. I can't express enough how just of a shitty feeling this is being a Vikings fan. And I feel bad for everybody who loves this football team as much as I do. I know there's millions of you guys out there who just eat, sleep, and breathe Vikings football. And now with Thanksgiving, you're probably meeting up with a bunch of your family. You're going to be chopping it up about the Vikings, and it's just going to be all negative, and as it should be. This team's 4-7. This season's been a disaster. The free agency cycle was a disaster. Another draft class that looks like a disaster. It is just all doom right now in Minnesota Vikings land. And now your potential quarterback, who you thought was a franchise guy, is hurt yet again. He's in concussion protocol, and now you are turning to a UDFA and Max Brosmer. And listen, I'm excited to watch Brosmer. I think he showed some juice during the preseason. He's clearly a very intelligent quarterback. KOC has been raving about him since he came in the camp from day one, and now he's got a chance to prove himself. Like, that's the beauty of the NFL, though. It is a revolving door. You know, one person's door closes, another person's door could open, and maybe that's a chance that Max Brosmer will have right now. But again, this is just not good for the Vikings franchise. This is not good for the organization that JJ is in the concussion protocol yet again, and it just flat out stinks. So I'll ask you guys this. Will J.J. McCarthy play again for the Minnesota Vikings? I cannot believe I'm asking you guys this, but I think it's on the table. Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Now, today's episode is brought to you guys by PrizePicks. Now, here coming on the back half, we will talk about Max Brosmer and just give you guys more reasons on why the season is a complete season from hell. But today's episode is brought to you guys by PrizePicks, and it is a holiday season, and it's the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it is all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's only one place where it feels good to be right, and that is PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks, they have a new feature where PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. And obviously the Viking season is over, but also my fantasy football season is over. My team is absolutely cooked, but with PrizePicks, I don't have to wait until next year's draft. PrizePicks lets you play fantasy football every week, pick your favorite players, and win when they hit their projections every week. No draft required. PrizePicks, it's very simple to play. All you got to do is pick more or less on at least two player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. So download the PrizePicks app today. Plug in that promo code CONS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's promo code CONS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. But shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, just more thoughts here on just this season from hell from the Minnesota Vikings. Like, man, if you could draw up a season from hell, it would be just this. But I even think the scriptwriters in the NFL couldn't even imagine a season as bad as it's been for the Minnesota Vikings. And, you know, you just start to feel for a guy like Justin Jefferson especially. This guy's an all-time great talent. He has handled this well. I mean, even though trade deadline's passed, it wouldn't shock me if this guy requests a trade. It has been that bad. And what is so hard right now is, you know, everybody else is feeling the ramifications. Like KOC, when he was at his press conference today, like he was talking like his dog just died. He was completely deflated. He had no juice. He understands the reality of the situation where, like, this team is done. The playoff hopes are done. It's going to be 4 straight years without a playoff win, 2 heartbreaking losses in the playoffs. It has truly just been the most, like, KOC, and I was going to tweet this, KOC might be the most Vikings coach of all time. And what do I mean by that? Well, because we know the Vikings love to follow the on 1 year, off 1 year script. Well, first year here, you won 13 games, but you lose to Daniel Jones in the playoffs. So that was a heartbreaker. 2023, you lose Kirk Cousins with a torn Achilles, heartbreaking season. 2024, you won 14 games. You're 14-2 with a chance to be the number 1 seed in the conference. Heading into Detroit, you completely collapse. And then this season, you completely collapse. Since that moment when Sam Darnold was hoisted in the locker room after beating the Green Bay Packers, the Vikings are 4-9, and they have gotten the worst quarterback play in the entire National Football League. It is that bad. I cannot underestimate how bad this is, and I think it's fully on the table that the Vikings are drafting another rookie quarterback. Like, what if this is just a Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray situation, where the Cardinals took Josh Rosen, and then the next year they drafted Kyler Murray number 1 overall. Now, obviously, the Vikings won't have the number 1 pick, but who says they don't try to trade up for a guy? Who says this front office and this regime doesn't go all in and say, hey, we just got to get a guy in this building. We got to try to save our jobs here. Let's get aggressive. If you love Fernando Mendoza, let's go get Fernando Mendoza. If you love Ty Simpson, let's go get Ty Simpson, because there's no answer to the quarterback problem this offseason. You're going to go get Mac Jones? You're going to trade a second-round pick to the Niners for Mac Jones? No. You're going to go sign a guy that's going to change it? No. Your only chance to salvage this is either you get somehow turn McCarthy's career around, or you go just draft another quarterback, or maybe Max Brosmer's the guy. But this is going to be a crazy end to the season. Even though the Vikings are a disaster, at least it's kind of like watching a house burn down. It's somewhat entertaining. But this is just bad news, Bears, man. It is just that bad, and I'm just deflated. It's tough. It's just tough, man. Fucking J.J. McCarthy and the concussion protocol. You can't make this shit up, man. But we appreciate all of you guys watching today's show. We'll get on out of here. Let's go, bye.